All right, everybody, this is Daily Space Weather Supplemental here. We weren't expecting to do a video about this as we saw the tsunami watch expire. So what we saw was a 7.4 downgraded from a 7.5 magnitude quake happened north of New Zealand. And now, apparently that was a foreshock because we now see an 8 magnitude quake out there in this oceanic rift zone here north of New Zealand. So we've got a huge list of possible tsunamis here. Let's bring it up. We have an actual series of tsunami possibilities here, and we already see some showing up. So there you go. We already see some tsunamis reported here. 0.3 to 1 meter at Ecuador, 0.3 to 1 meter. These are warnings here. Okay, yeah, warnings. 0.3 to 1 meter at Ecuador, Colombia, Fiji, Cook Islands, Pohnpei, Pohnpei? I don't know. Pohnpei, the Pitcairn Islands, Wallis and Futuna, Samoa, Solomon Islands, French Polynesia, Costa Rica, Vanuatu, Nicaragua, Panama, Mexico, New Zealand, Antarctica, Nauru, Australia, Chile, Peru, statewide watch at Hawaii, and advisory at American Samoa. So here are the first reports here. So based on preliminary earthquake parameters, widespread hazardous tsunami waves are possible. So the next 3 hours here, places like Kermadec Islands, Tonga, New Zealand, Niue, American Samoa, Wallis and Futuna, Cook Islands, Tokelau, and Vanuatu and Fiji, all at notice for possible tsunamis here. One of the most dangerous things that happens on the planet. A tsunami advisory generated, again, from an 8+ magnitude quake here. So there was an 8 magnitude and then an 8.1 showing up there. And again, there's a location of that northeast of New Zealand. And this oceanic rift zone here, this is the deep quake capital of the world. This is where we see more deep earthquakes than any place else. This one not deep at all, at a depth of 19.4 kilometers. So hopefully that is the main quake there. And again, tsunamis could have been generated from this. So if you're in a tsunami-prone zone, please be prepared. If you see the ocean receding, run for your life to higher ground. And I'm just going to look, I'm going to look through all of the list here while we stream live. So there's the first entry. There are the estimated times of arrival. Serious stuff here, folks. And, you know, a 1 foot tsunami, in other words, a 0.3 meter tsunami, you got to realize that is a foot of water coming in for who knows how long. So if you're 6 inches above sea level, a 1 foot tsunami is very serious. It can wash you and your car away at the drop of a hat, folks. So this is quite serious stuff going on here. And let's see. So here's the Hawaii advisories. And tsunami watch issued effective at 9:38 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time there. If a tsunami impacts Hawaii, the earliest estimated arrival is 4:35 p.m. So we're going to keep this video pretty short here. I'm going to blast through each one of these warnings and then get this uploaded to YouTube. We are streaming live now to Twitch. Here is the American Samoa tsunami alert. And estimated times there are at 10:19 a.m. So between 10:19 and 10:45 on Samoa is the ETA. Next we'll check out Guam. And the earliest impacts there would be around 224 local time at those locations. Guam, Rota, and Tinian, and Saipan. So those are your Western Pacific islands. Non-USA Canada threats. A huge list here. So you got Kermadec Islands, Tonga, New Zealand, Niue, American Samoa, Cook Islands, Wallis and Futuna, Fiji, Vanuatu, French Polynesia, Solomon Islands, Pitcairn Island. And here are the times, the ETAs in Universal Time. Now we're looking at Universal Time here, arriving between 1948 and 1:41 tomorrow on the 5th. So a bunch of possible tsunamis there. Expected to be at 0.3 to 1 meter. So a 3-foot tsunami, folks, is pretty serious. I mean, if you've ever seen whitewater rafting, imagine that in a city, as there are plenty of coastal cities here. Let's see, here's another U.S., non-U.S. Canada threat. Again, all the same size forecasts here for 0.3 to 1 meter above tide level, possible for the coasts of Antarctica, Australia, Chile, Colombia, Cook Islands, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Fiji, French Polynesia, Corse, Mexico, Nauru, New Zealand, Nicaragua, Panama, Peru, Pitcairn Islands, Pohnpei, Samoa, Solomon Islands, Tonga, and Wallis and Futuna. Possible less than 0.3 meter waves, rather, above tide level for the coasts of American Samoa, China, Chuuk, El Salvador, Guam, Guatemala, Hawaii, Honduras, Howland and Baker, Indonesia, Japan, Jarvis Island, Johnson Atoll, Kiribati, Malaysia, Marshall Islands, Midway Island, Niue, Northern Marianas, Northwestern Hawaiian Islands, Palau, Palmyra Island, Papua New Guinea, Philippines, Russia, Taiwan, Tokelau, Tuvalu, Wake Island, and Yap. Shut your yap, there's a bunch of forecasts. Here's another Hawaii warning. And again, tsunami may have been generated by this earthquake. It could be destructive on coastal areas even far from the epicenter. If you are in a coastal area facing that location, let's go back to the map. So there is the location of that. And you're looking at any place that is facing that. So all of these areas, these areas, these areas, all of this entire Pacific Rim is pretty much in the danger zone, as well as Antarctica. So watch out for receding waters. If you see receding waters, basically run for your lives. We don't tell you very often to run for your lives on the channel, but yeah, that is serious. So the initial 7 magnitude quake, that was a 7.5 downgraded to a 7.4, happened right there. And at 14:28 Universal Time, we saw this 8.1 magnitude quake strike there. So pretty serious stuff, folks. Tsunami is one of the most dangerous things in the world that ever occur. Here's some more warnings here on the tsunami.gov site, tsunami.gov. Tsunami warning. Oh, Tsunami Warning Center, okay. So it may not seem like it's a huge wave, folks, but a 3-foot wave that comes in over and over again, it's basically just like a rising tide. It could come in at a faster or a slower speed depending on the sort of the shape of the continental shelf. As the way these waves propagate is very strange. It's a high-speed wave, not visible when you're out in the ocean, but when it shows up at the shore, it suddenly stands up. So this is one of the most serious natural disasters that we get. Estimated time of arrivals here for Tafuna, Leon, Fagamalo, Fagasa, Amanave, Pago Pago, Vatia, Masafau, Pagai, Aomai, Tula, Anu Island, Tau Island, Ofu Island, Olegesa Island, Olasega Island, and Swains Island, all between 1019 and 1047. Those are places. Pago Pago, for example, is American Samoa, a future vacation spot. Hopefully it doesn't get shattered. And last but not least, here's one more on tsunami.gov. This is the Guam Warning. And it looks like they might be relaxing things a little bit, but keep your eye on that tsunami.gov site to learn more about it. And this is there's another 6.5 aftershock. So lots of shaking going on in that rift zone north of New Zealand. Not a lot of folks out there, most likely. And of course, some of the worst places that you could expect would be Tonga, Fiji, Samoa, New Caledonia, and New Zealand. The north coast of New Zealand could be in the crosshairs there. So that's about it, folks. We're going to close this thing out so we can get it updated as quickly as possible. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for leaving comments. Kathy Garden, One Audio, etc. We're going to close this thing out so we can get it uploaded to YouTube. See you next time here at the Smash News Network. Least busted name in news.